It said, what's considered a psucha, where you start at the beginning of the new column, and you left 9 osios in the previous, on the bottom of the last line of unwritten parchment. Maschilin, Birosh, osa psucha kol yalmo. Everybody concurs, no question, it's a psucha, kshishi, cholo, kedeites osios, besov shita achrona. Ba'omud hakodem. If you left a space of 9 letters in the previous column on the bottom, what happens if you didn't start at the very beginning of the line, the top line? Man indented the top line of the new column, less than 9 letters. Hari parshas unikri stuma la Rambam. Yeah. He says if you started where it was indented, even if it's indented less than 9 letters, it's called a stuma. A psucha means it starts at the beginning of the paragraph, literally at the beginning of the column. But he says, going to Rambam, if you indented even less than 9 letters, it's stuma, upsulafil b'di'evet. It's possible. Let's see, we didn't get a good, what's the Rambam? He said, we didn't see the Rambam yet. Okay, we'll see. Prima Godam Kosav, the Afilo Himshich Lifnim, Rosh Kaddish, Ovoya Kviyacha, Ushma Rak, Os Achas, Oshtayim. Here? The beginning, they're supposed to be psuchos, right? The first 3 psuchos, the last one is a stuma. Let's say everyone, he indented it 1 or 2 letters, no more than that. It's not only less than 9, he wrote 8 at the space of 8 letters. Even 1 or 2 letters, he indented it. The Prima Godam says, according to it's possible. What's it? Gam kein shloma de posul tzorchin bozeh. He says it's not simple. Ubeseif my morach hamash nein lahachim bozeh b'di'evet. V'chal kopon l'chatchila yishuzo bozeh mode. He says l'chatchila definitely the psucha should start at the beginning of the column, not even to be indented 1 letter. V'mhishir kishir tevas asher. Let's say the space he left was the equivalent of asher, which we left off yesterday. 3 letters, Aleph, Shin, Reish. He said 1 or 2 letters. The Prima Godam wants to say even 1 or 2 letters is possible. So he says, it's others question, but he says definitely if you leave a space which is equivalent of Asher, we could write the word Aleph, Shin, Reish, it's possible. Hear this? Because within the letter of Asher, it's the equivalent of what? Of 6. You could write 6 yuds in the place of Asher. Here. Yesh b'shir shisha osios. Moshkos machzeh shekel. So what, 6? Why not? What about 5? Right? I mean, if it's a question of the majority of 9, so even if it would be less than Asher, right? But he says Asher is no question. Because Asher is definitely more than the majority of 9. Right? That's probably what they say it's possible. So if you indent the column 6 letters, it's definitely possible. See, what about 5? Varel das tazm starf dinul kol yamli kori stumo afilo lo yarevach shlamalu l'mata rakishir tesosios ketanos al yidei tziruf. He says, taz you combined. It starf midinul kol yamo, that it's considered stuma, afilo hoya revach shlamalu l'mata rakishir tesosios ketanos al yidei tziruf. He says, let's say you left 5 on the bottom, right, and 4 on top. Well, let's say you left 7. We said before, the Mishna Berura says, others say if you leave 2, right, 2 is what? On top is nothing. Some say. Prima Godam says even 1 or 2 is a problem. That's a stuma, because it's not starting at the beginning of the column. Others say, no, it has to be a stuma, it has to be indented. He said it has to be 6. It has to be indented 6 letters. Okay? Now we say, according to the Taz, let's say, what's this? If you have 9 letters, you combine the space on the bottom and the space on top. I would say that should be considered psucha, not a stuma. Right?
How many at the bottom?
No, he says, if you have on the bottom, between the bottom and the top, the 9.
Right.
If you combine them, that's called stuma.
Depends which one.
No, what do we have to say? He says, what? Exactly. If it's less than 9 on the bottom. And no, not indented. If there's a space of less than 9 on the bottom, it's a stuma. Not indented. It doesn't end at the end of the line. On the previous paragraph, it doesn't end at the end. There's no.
Not enough of the remaining space.
Of 9, you need 9 to be considered a psucha, right? So okay, so let's see. He says if you have between the two of them 9, it's the word of stuma. Of course, it's a stuma. He says even al yidei tziruf, afilo hoya revach shel malul mato rakshir tes osius ktanos. He says don't say if it was only tes osius. It's called a stuma. Read the Kosev Rambam Yinich Mat Revach Hushir Kotin Mode Al Kain Imroa Shehiskel Apasha. He says, Hare the Mashkosev Rambam Yinich Mat Revach. You should leave a little bit of space. Hushir Kotin, a little bit. It seems to be a small, any level of indentation. Al Kain Imroa Shehiskel Apasha Filos Achas Lifnim. Shlo b'mokam shesirteit mitchilo. He wrote. He what? He began the parsha 1 letter indented. 1 letter indented. Shlo b'mokam shesirteit mitchilo. Not from the beginning.
You have the horizontal lines, and then the columns. You make it vertical.
No, I don't think so. Originally, he had no horizontal. It's scored. Wait. So you should start writing at the beginning of that line. That's where you should start writing the first letter. He didn't start at the beginning of the sirtut. He started 1 letter in. So now the other lines, although the sirtut, the scoring goes to the end of the line, all the others should also be indented identically. It should be uniformly a straight line. That's what he's saying. So be wider. Doesn't make a difference. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Just to align them. All the lines should be aligned. Otherwise, you have a problem. Because if we were saying that even 1 letter caused it to be considered a stuma, right? If it's indented and it's supposed to be a psucha, you got a problem. So if you made a mistake and you indented it 1, what are you supposed to do? I mean, actually, you could, if it's 1.
Do that on the top line.
Evidently, it's speaking over here. The person wrote or read like it must have been the Shem Hashem, right? Let's say he wrote Yud K, so you can't erase it. So and it was the top line. So therefore, the only way you can't correct it, the only way you can do it is what?
Yeah.
That the next line should be aligned with the top line.
And the rest of the paragraph as well.
No, everything, every line, everything is aligned. Everything's.
The top line, that defines the line. Right. At the beginning, of all the other lines.
But what if he did do more of the top on stuff? He didn't.
No, then it's possible. Because we're saying that if it's indented, it's
Even
a problem.
1 letter?
According to some, even 1 letter, it's possible. He cited the Pri Megadim. There are 1 or 2 letters. Others say you have to have more than, you have to have the equivalent of the word Asher, which he said, which is 6, which is 6 yuds. Okay? Let's see Kuf Samach Gimel.
Yeah, all of these 2 years, the shade is 3 and the range.
Depends on how you write. Some people write an hour.
Yeah, but later he said it depends on the size of the script. right? If a person, let's say, no. A sofer could write small. He could write both ways. Nothing has nothing to do with the handwriting. Let's say a person's writing a Sefer Torah, it's going to be larger letters. So then we say the 9 letters are based on the size of those letters. So in the larger letters, he writes a yud bigger. So it would be 9 yuds of the bigger yuds. What? The asher is bigger. Yeah, exactly.
Everything is
That's exactly what it says. It's always evaluated based on the size of that particular Sefer Torah.
But a sofer can write an aleph stretch. Some sofer can write an aleph a little more stretched out than others. So it would be the equivalent of a
He could write it small. He doesn't have to. He could write it smaller. No, but he could write it smaller. You could be more expansive. You could. Tesosios. The Mechaber says, the Shulchan Aruch says, you have to leave 9 letters of unwritten parchment. Okay. Kosba Achronim. This is Chatchil Tzorch Liyach Kedei Tevos Gimel Tevos Asher. The space should be the equivalent of 3 words of Asher. Okay. Al Kein Tzorch Liyach Gam Kein Revach Melo Beis Osios Ketanos Melevad HaTes Osios. So besides the 3 ashers is 9 letters, and then you have the spaces between the 3 words. Correct. You have 2 spaces, which is beis osios, ketanos. Doho, bein teva leteva tzorch l'niachem lo os ketano. You have to leave from one word to another. You have to leave a space which is equivalent of a yud. Ubediavad yesh lokel kisheminiach rak kimelo tes osios ketanos. Dani Yudin. In fact, if you didn't have the real, it's 11. L'chatchila, it should be 11. 3 ashers, which are 9. No, I understand, but it's equivalent of 9. He said 3 ashers is equivalent of 9 yuds. It's tes yudin.
Why not just say
Wait. 3 ashers is 9 yuds.
That's 9 letters, so what's the difference?
3 ashers is more than 9. 3 ashers. Each asher is at least 6.
Right.
Wait a second.
18.
Second. He said asher. There you go. Yeah.
You need 9 regular letters plus 2 spaces. 2 uses of spaces. But at the average, you use 9 uses.
If you're saying 3 words here, it's 9 letters, so what's the difference? Yeah, I think it's one answer.
One asher, he says, is 6 yuds. Right? Yesh kashisha osi is ktanos v'yosef. A little bit more. He says a little bit more than 6. Right? That's probably the discussion with the Nod Yehuda. Is it 7? Or is it 8? What? Or is it 8? No, but I'm saying the Mishna Berura himself says, alludes to this. Rabbi Shir zeh b'vari yesh b'shisha osios, keshisha osios. I mean, so if the Mechaber says you only have to have 9 letters, right? So 9 letters really mean? No, we're talking 9 letters. How could 9 letters be 9 yuds? So where do we come up with this 3 ashers? Which each one 6, which is 18, and we're talking about it's 20. Right? With the 2 spaces.
A regular asher,
I know.
A regular asher with the 2 spaces is close to 9. according to what we
Right,
said.
exactly.
So that's what we're saying.
Right? That's what he says here. L'chatchil, it should be 3 ashers, including the 2 spaces. 1 second. Yeah, so that, which is what? Which is 18. Being table l'tzorch l'niach m'lo. But the yavish local sheminiach rak m'lo tes osios katanos tani yudin. So l'chilo, you're supposed to have 20 yuds, the equivalent of 20 yuds, or maybe even a little more than 20 yuds. That's the space. B'di'evid, said the Mechaber, so what? He says, b'di'evid yesh lokel. So the Mechaber, when he says tes osios, that's b'di'evid. It's a little bit of a dochik. I mean, so Mechaber evidently holds Tess is Lachatchila. He's not telling you how to do it with the Evid. Right? Uchmashmos Shulchan Aruch Kan. Kosbri Megorim Sharon HaRevach Shtasosis Kfi Osa Aksav. That's what he's saying. Choshir Azehu Bein Lepsucha Bein Lustuma. To be continued. It's in Mrs. Sharon.
He's talking about regular road.
No. Talking about Yuds. If you just read the Mishna Berura. It says when the Chaber says Tesosis, it means Yud. Yud. That's the Chatchila.
Why do we even have this Asher issue? Why don't we just use the mental letters, like 9 letters? Why, it just seems like you have this whole interpretation of what that means. It's more complicated. It's just saying how many letters and you have the spaces.
I think maybe because the Yuds, a Yud, you can make it, the question is how wide is a Yud? The answer is the Yuds are the size of 3 Asheres. So as many Yuds as you could fit into there, that's what it is.
Like an aleph is 2 years, and it says 2 letters there. You break it up, the shem is 2 rounds, so it's 3 years. It's easy to do sound.
Yeah, but we're saying it's much more. It's much more than 9. That 1 Asher is 6. Is more than 6. 1 case, yeah. So and plus the spaces we're talking about, it's 20, little even more than 20. It could be 21, 22. Okay.